get the sweep.
That 1-1 sweep in the very first round. LaRocca, Bichon, Lusk, and Hughes fairly close in the points, but of course Hughes is not with us going back to the GPs. The defending champion, as we look at the starting grid, Doug Henry, Ezra Lusk, Jeff Emig, very disappointed in his first round, but Tortelli, of course, just the opposite. Kevin Windham having problems with a thigh injury in Moto 1 last week. Larry Ward hoping to rebound after a so-so performance. As we take a look at the rest of the starting grid, Greg Albertine has always done well. John Dowd won his first 250 National Motocross right here at Hangtown.
That was, of course, in the mud, and Doug Henry also picked up a national win that day.
And as we look at the rest of the 40-rider field, one big contrast from 1991 when the Russian River overflowed its banks and horrible, cold, wet weather. In fact, a lot of the factory riders didn't even want to go ride. We've got a bright, sunny day here at the Hangtown Classic.
Well, you can see they're putting water down now on purpose. They don't have to wait for Mother Nature to do it. And you didn't see any umbrellas at the first round. It was pretty breezy and cool here today. I think towards the end of the race, it's because of the heat. You see some fatigue.
Kevin Windham back up to par now after getting a bruise in the thigh in the first moto last week. Sebastian Tortelli, what a great story that was in dominating his round. Let's go down to the gate in Davie.
Down here in front of the starting gate, they're getting ready to begin the first 250 moto here at Hangtown. One thing I want you guys to keep in mind, remember Sebastian Tortelli's big win last week at Glen Helen. I'll tell you what, it might have raised the bar for Greg Albertine. You see, Tortelli's got 2 world championships. He shows up and wins his first national. Albertine, who's got 3 world titles, has been here for 3 years, has yet to really break through. I think that you're going to see a whole new urgency about Greg Albertine now that Tortelli's kind of paved the way and raised the bar a little bit.
Well, that just reminds me, Art, of what it was like to be at Honda during the 80s when the team was so big. And if a few of the guys were really performing well and I wasn't, well, I maybe really want to do my homework during the week. I'll bet you, since this is a track where Greg has done well in the past, he will step it up.
Nothing like a little peer pressure to get things moving. And the peer pressure right now comes from a Frenchman who lives near Marseille in the south of France, Sebastian Tortelli. Will he dominate here in round number 2 like he did in round number 1? A very interesting season. 32nd forward sideways. Moto number 1 is about set to get underway. Number 44, Tortelli. 14 is Windham. You have Lusk and LaRocca right in your picture, along with Damon Huffman. And it's Windham doing a little wheelie. He gets the whole shot. Henry, Emig, Ward, Lusk, Bichon, they're all right there. Whoa, there goes Tortelli in the middle of the pack. He's down. He had to wait to get back to his bike. Sebastian Tortelli will now start from 40th position.
Well, at least he kept the bike running, so he's not going to be too far back. Could have been a little bit worse. Seems to be okay, although this been in that front number plate. But let's take another look. See Tortelli right here. He's high-siding on the back end of what looks like Jimmy Button right there. Button doing a good job of saving it. And Tortelli lucky not to get run over by that pack.
Conspicuously absent, of course, is Jeremy McGrath, retiring for the season after Glen Helen. Tortelli had 2 bad starts in the opening round, David, but nothing like this.
Well, he definitely could come through the pack, but I think in round 2, everyone's pretty much got things sorted out. I know they're going to be looking for him as well. Probably be a little bit more aggressive towards him.
7, Larry Ward. There's Emig behind Ward. Number 5, Mikel Bichon. But our leader right now is Windham with Doug Henry, number 1, the defending champion, behind him on the 4-stroke.
Well, a much better start this time for Lusk. He's up there now. Same thing as the first round for Windham. The question is the fact that he came into the series without a lot of time, coming off that injury, and stamina is really the question there. See how long he can lead this thing. But the guy that's got the big advantage, who really suffered problems in the opening laps at Glen Helen, is Doug Henry now. Good shot at the lead.
Emig, number 11, Team Kawasaki, crashed out of 3rd in the first moto last week. And look here, Mikel Bichon has crashed in the first moto here today. Bichon, with a 3rd place finish in the first moto and a 7th place finish in the second moto last week, has got a lot to make up to match that performance of Glen Helen. We'll be right back as Kevin Windham leads Henry, Ward, Lusk, and Emig.
At a standstill, it might be compared to other sport bikes. That top end, it might be compared to other sport bikes. But at each and every mile per hour in between, comparisons become insignificant specks in the mirrors. The TL1000R, the only one of its kind on the track, from Suzuki.
I loved Texas. All of them. The brownstones.
The country music.
The windmills.
Top hats and tails.
And the wildflowers were incredible. We even learned to speak the language.
Buenos dias, y'all.
Even the vacations are bigger in Texas. Our Texas travel guide has 264 pages of helpful information, and it's free when you call 1-800-8888-TEX, extension 30, or visit us at TravelTex.com. You'll get the insider's view of Texas, what to see, what to do, where to stay. Free when you call 1-800-8888-TEX, extension 30. So give us a call, y'all. Texas, it's more than you think. It's like a whole other country.
Beauty, adventure, drama. All these and more can be yours in the wonderful world of art. And with this free art test from Art Instruction Schools, you can find out if you have the interest and desire needed to become a serious art student. To get your free art test without cost or obligation, call this toll-free number. Don't delay. Call this toll-free number now. Call 1-800-344-8300.
We're back at the Hangtown Classic near Sacramento, California. It's round 2 of 250 action, our first moto of the day. Ezra Lusk is sizzling. He's taking on number 7, Team Suzuki's Larry Ward right now.
What a line he had there. He planned that all the way down the straightaway, squared him right off. Just caught Ward hanging on the outside.
It's a battle for third. Kevin Windham, Doug Henry, Ezra Lusk. Henry's in a Team Honda sandwich right now. And look at Lusk move.
He's riding so aggressive right now, Art. It just looks like he's putting in one lap, trying to have the fastest lap of the day, but he's got to ride 30 more minutes like this.
Ezra's been a good conditioner his entire career. It was injuries that stepped into the way of being really competitive. And there's Mike LaRocco going down. So Bichon and LaRocco, along with Tortelli, we've got a lot of Hondas in this race, but 3 of them have been down here early in the first moto.
That section that LaRocco went down is where they put some water. It was hard packed and slick, and he watered. It makes it even worse. I think he was just getting it probably into braking into the corner and slid out.
So after Ezra passed Larry Ward, his own teammate Greg Albertine has done the same. Ward currently in 5th now.
Ward hasn't picked it up. Must be wondering what it's going to take to be out front. He's riding a fast pace right now. You can see him getting all that kick going into the corner.
Boy, they get a lot of rebound there.
He's on the power all the way through the berm and out. I mean, I don't really see anything that Larry's doing wrong. I doubt if he feels like he's doing anything wrong either, but he's still in 5th.
Obviously, the great weather here at Prairie City has encouraged a fabulous crowd. All reports indicate this is a record-breaking crowd for Sacramento.
Look at Lusk through there, just wide open. There's that little kicker on the jump, too. He tried to pre-jump at the lap before.
The battle is on. Henry, his foot off the pegs.
Say, if he didn't have that 4-stroke, he might not have been able to hold Lusk from making the pass right there. That's the same place he passed Ward.
Going wide the first time, cutting to the inside now. Here comes Lusk with the challenge. Lusk making the pass. And it looks like he'll make it hold, David.
Well, he is on a mission right now. He is riding so aggressive, just attacking people. He's riding the way Tortelli rode first round. Able to make his passes, he's attacking right away. He doesn't wait at all.
It's interesting that Ezra is doing so well because this is not one of Ezra Lusk's favorite tracks.
I've never really did good here at Sacramento, so I don't really have any positive things to say about it. You know, I love coming to race anywhere, and to race is the second round of the National Series, so that's something I like about it. You know, even if you don't like the track, there's something you got to find that you like about the whole deal.
Ezra Lusk right now on the way of picking up maybe some points on the leader, Tortelli. Tortelli is not cutting through the pack like he did at Glen Helen.
Well, I think Glen Helen had a little bit more technical element to it. A lot more bumps, a lot more ruts to choose from in corners. You see here, everyone's pretty much running wide open. So it runs the same pace, a little bit more of a flat track.
It's the fast track here in Sacramento, California. Number 14, Kevin Windham. And number 4, his Team Honda teammate, Ezra Lusk, in a battle for the lead. Moto number 1.
This ought to make Kevin a little nervous because he had a pretty nice advantage over Lusk. Lusk passed everyone and is right on his heels now. They gain on you that fast, you're thinking, geez, what else can I do?
Kevin Windham, after a 38th and a 14th in the first round, is looking to pick up things. And look at the easy inside pass, Ezra Lusk. Almost like Windham said, here, take it.
Well, I mean, he's making that line look so easy. Keeps making the passes there. It's surprising that these other guys haven't picked up on it or weren't using it in the first place.
So our new leader, Ezra Lusk, with Kevin Windham still close by.
Well, now Kevin will definitely have to change his jersey between motos because he's going to get roosted by Ezra. You can see the difference. Ezra has picked up a lot of that roost and spray. His number plate's dirty. His jersey's dirty. Kevin's all sparkling clean.
Lusk getting hung up in turn 1 in Moto 1 of the very first round, and that led to an 8th place. He had to ride very well to get back to 8th. And then in the second moto, a well-deserved 3rd place finish. Let's go down to the mechanics area now. Davey Combs.
Okay, Mike, you guys got the lead. What's the strategy here? Just check out?
I think it's just, we're riding really loose right now. I think if he can just keep that pace, just cruise from here on out, you know, not do anything stupid or get caught up in 8 lappers, I don't think he'll have too much of a problem. I don't see anybody really gaining on him, so we'll just see what happens. He's riding really good right now.
That could be an understatement, David Bailey, the way I see it right now.
No, there's no way. I mean, he just sliced through everybody. His lines are coming together. He's still aggressive, and he's pulling away. There's no way anyone's going to catch him unless he makes a huge mistake.
It's Lusk, Windham, Doug Henry in 3rd. Albertine and Ward are top 5. We'll be right back to Hangtown.
Come on, get away. It's time for a little Lansdowne. Lansdowne Resort, less than an hour from D.C. Come on, get away. It's time for a little Lansdowne.
It's time for a little Lansdowne. Play golf and tennis, swim, sun, and more. Call for information.
Let's brighten Mom's Day at Ketterman's Jewelers.
Let's brighten Mom's Day with a handbag.
Let's brighten her day with a wallet.
Let's brighten Mom's Day with a belt. Perfume will brighten her day. And mine, too. Let's brighten Mom's Day with sunglasses, because her diamonds are real shiny.
Brighton, available at Ketterman's Jewelers. Ketterman's Jewelers, family owned and operated for 48 years.
Tonight on ESPN, Sports Center, followed by Legends of Hockey, Ultimate 9-Ball Challenge, and Baseball Tonight. On ESPN2, RPM Tonight, NHRA, NASCAR Coca-Cola Family 200, and NBA Tonight. And on ESPN Classic, Tonight at the Fights and College Basketball Classics. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
AMA Motocross is brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, get in, be moved. While we were away, this big pass for 5th place.
Well, watch Emick. He's already looking to the inside, squares it. He's the master of taking advantage of a rare line, making it work for a pass.
Emick starting to get back up to speed now for this national season as we take a look at Doug Henry being challenged right now by Greg Albertine. Albertine looks like he's on the same mission Ezra Lusk was on earlier.
Well, I think it's the case that if you've done well at a track before, you come in there with a little bit more confidence, a little more aggressive. Plus, I know he's disappointed with his results from the first round, and he's going to attack right now.
To the inside, Greg Albertine makes the move. Albie, with the 1-2 here last year, took 2nd place behind Jeremy McGrath. McGrath had a 2-1 to take the overall title. Ironically, that was the only win McGrath had last year, as he only raced 3 races before the navicular bone injury sidelined him for the rest of the motocross season. Right now, we're looking at Team Suzuki's number 8, Greg Albertine. And you'd think with a second and a first place finish in the last couple of years here, this could be one of his favorite tracks. We asked him about the Hangtown Classic.
Yeah, I do. I like Hangtown a lot. You know, it's not even my favorite track, but I really seem to go well here, and my speed seems to be great. I think 2 years ago I won by 20 seconds over Amick, so hoping to repeat that today.
Greg Albertine with the 1 win here at Hangtown, the winningest rider here in Sacramento. Teammate of yours, David Bailey, Rick Johnson with 4.
Well, I know I gave him 1. No, I never really liked the track here that much. It's just fast and hard-packed, choppy, and sweepers. I just always felt like I was in the wrong line. I only had 1 good event here in '84 on the 500. I had a good battle with Brock, and other than that, I was just kind of happy to get past it.
As we saw the rundown of the 40 riders, John Dowd looking like he still has that sore shoulder. He's having problems right now. As Kevin Windham in second place, and Windham has seen his teammate Ezra Lusk just check out on him.
Right now, he's got to be a little bit more worried about Albertine coming up from behind than his teammate. Like you said, Lusk is gone. He can't really focus on him anymore.
Tortelli has made a lot of progress since we last talked about him here. He's battling for 8th against Jimmy Button on another Yamaha 4-stroke. But Tortelli showing us the great maneuverability and speed that he has in the outdoors.
He makes that look easy. He just doubled up that hill and got around him. And the thing that Tortelli must just hate about Button right now is it seems as though every time he gets around Button, Button's looking around for him and trying to cut off his line and ride not his own race. And it was Button that he high-sided off the back of. It wasn't Button's fault that he went down, but it seems like every time he gets near this guy, there's some sort of trouble.
In the first moto last week, Tortelli passed 9 riders in 3 laps to get back into contention. In Moto 2, he started out in 15th and won the moto.
Yeah, he can come through the pack. There's no doubt about that. But here it's, like I said before, everyone's running a little bit faster pace. Not as many places on the racetrack where you can go that much faster than anybody else because it's all pretty smooth and fast, but he's still carving through impressively.
Wyndham and Albertine. Albertine making the move on Kevin Wyndham for second place.
Same place he got Doug Henry. That time Kevin, just like Doug did earlier, just drifted wide into the corner and just handed him the inside. It's a better line when you run by yourself, what Wyndham was doing, but when you got somebody like Albertine aggressive, he'll dive in there and take it from him.
Albertine now trying to get some space between second and third as we take another look at that inside move.
Well, watch right here. Kevin's going to try to, he did a good job to try to retaliate and square him off. Right there, he should have just gassed it right back to the outside. He'd had a better shot at trying to cut back underneath. Albie was ready for that. He cut it up tight as well.
Boy, what good camera work showing us the speed that they get here at the Hangtown Classic. Greg Albertine in second place now. In our Suzuki trivia question, if you were listening earlier, you will know which 2 privateers won their first motocross on the same day at the same track. We'll be right back.
New car with a red tail light, it's like blue on the corners and it's hung in tight. It's got a rag top and a contour hood. She goes up, 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 and she's rocking. Let's go!
The 1999 Mazda Miata. Set it free, and it'll return the favor.
You know, ideas and inventions come from people in all walks of life. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? If so, Invention Submission Corporation has information to help you get started. ISC is America's largest inventor service firm. Call now and learn how to submit your idea to companies through ISC's databank and apply for a patent. Even if your idea is just to improve an existing product, call for ISC's free information.
For your inventor's information, call 1-800-652-0101.
My girlfriend made me go to Cancun. I could not watch NHL tonight. When I got back, my knowledge was smaller. I hate Cancun.
Welcome back to the first moto of 250 action in round 2 of AMA Motocross. Here is our leader, Ezra Lusk. What a great job he's done out in front. It is the final lap for Ezra. And the trivia question, which two privateers won their first motocross on the same day at the same track? It was right here in Sacramento, John Dowd and Doug Henry.
Hard as we watch Lusk here, I mean, it doesn't look like he's slowed down at all. He's still putting in as fast a lap time this last lap as he did the entire race.
Ezra Lusk on his final lap. This would be his first moto win since May 25th of last year at Mount Morris.
He finally slows down.
He looks back. Checking out his vapor trail. Ezra Lusk, the checkered flag. And a lap Mikel Pachon struggling in right behind him. So it'll be Ezra Lusk, Greg Albertine taking second place, and Kevin Windham, another Team Honda rider, in third. As we take a look at the top 10, Larry Ward slipping down to 10th, but look at Sebastian Tortelli, past 33 riders to finish in 7th. Let's go down to Davey Coombs now on the victory podium.
Greg, good ride.
Thanks. Yeah, it was okay. I was kind of satisfied from where I came back from. Suzuki was running great, and you know, that's why I was able to close up on the guys.
I was talking to your trainer. He said all you needed was a start, and man, I tell you, you were putting on the fastest laps on the track there at the end.
Yeah, I didn't quite get the start. You know, I got a little anxious again. This concrete, I'm not quite used to it, but you know, I came back strong in the end, and happy with the second. Hopefully next moto first.
Well, if the second moto goes like the first one for Ezra Lusk, he will definitely shave that points lead down that Sebastian Tortelli, his teammate, has held. Let's go back to Davey now, who's with Ezra.
Yogi, that was an excellent ride, man. Good job.
Thanks a lot. I just, you know, got to thank Honda and Fox, Fox Casual Wear helmets, CTI Braces, Scott, you know, and Dunlop. They just worked really well for me, and man, I got a good start, and I just charged from the beginning. Had some pretty good lines there in that mud when it was muddy at first, and felt good.
I know that you had a little battle going with your teammate Kevin and also Doug Henry, but at the end of the moto, you're kind of riding your own race. What do you have left for the second moto?
You know, I think I got a lot left. I think the track's not really that rough today, and I had a good lines. I tried to save a little bit of energy, but there at the end, I got in a lot of lappers, and I had to try to pick it back up, so I pretty much raced the whole time.
You told us before the moto you weren't sure how you felt about this track. Like it a little better now?
Yeah, you know, like I said, I always got to go out here with a positive note, and I'm just here, I'm happy, I'm healthy, and you know, I'm racing really good, and I'm just having a lot of fun.
He looks pretty relaxed as they get set for round 2, moto number 2 of the 250 action when we return to Sacramento.
Remember when ice cream cost a dime? And your best friend and your bike were all that mattered? Well, those days are back. For a limited time, get a Yamaha V-Star from just $89 a month. It's the Yamaha Turn Back Time sales event. So see your local Yamaha dealer today. Because you won't find a deal this good anywhere else.
Suffering from the I've had it with the everyday life blues?
We got a full tank of gas, 3 bottles of suntan lotion, and we're wearing sunglasses.
Hit it!
Then it's time you escape to Daytona Beach. There's 23 miles of sunny shores, as well as Daytona, USA. Golf, fishing, plus Central Florida's top attractions are all within an hour's drive. To find out more about all there is to see and do at Daytona Beach, call for a free visitor's guide. Daytona Beach, big beach, big fun.
A great tradition reborn on ESPN2. Friday Night Fights, the main event live. Danny Romero takes on Enrique Jupiter in a 10-round super bantamweight bout. Plus Butterbean. Friday Night Fights, Friday at 9:30 on ESPN2.
Welcome back to the Hangtown Classic. And earlier today, some of the greatest cheers came not for Ezra Lusk, but for a young man named Julio Leon of Berkeley, California. Make-A-Wish Foundation made it possible, as his wish was to take a parade lap with Ezra Lusk. And he had a pretty good bike there he was on, too, the 125 of Dallin Bolin, as we get set for our second round of action in the 250s.
Well, here's what I'm wondering. Can Tortelli finally break through, get around the first lap in the top 5? If he does, he and Luss are going to go at it. Luss seems determined to win today.
30-second board is up, and when that goes sideways, the gate will drop from 5 to 10 seconds. And we will have our second moto underway here at the Hangtown Classic. Okay, they'll be revving up now. Let's see who gets the hole shot. Who will get the break? Where's Tortelli? Tortelli, not a very good start. That's Doug Henry on the 4-stroke, getting the hole shot. That's Jeff Emig in second place. He took the inside line.
Almost looked like he had the whole shot.
Whoa, look out! Ezra Luss goes down. Tortelli's mixed up in it. That slows him down. Well, he's in double digits in his start right now.
It's actually not a bad start for Tortelli, but it's disaster for Luss. If he won the first moto, he's going to have to come from last now.
And Albertine Pashon also mixed up and held up in that crash.
What a bummer for Luss, first moto winner. The pack is already gone. There's Albie. He's still yet to get going. These guys are 1-2 in the first moto.
That'll certainly make the overall situation rather interesting as a rider down. That's Motoki Tatsuyuki from Japan, separated from his Yamaha. Looks like
he may not get restarted. Yeah, he seems to be in a little bit of pain. Look at Emig going after Wyndham already.
And it's Henry out in front.
Actually, it's Wyndham who made the pass. I thought Emig looked like he had a clear shot at second. Wyndham got around him in an opening lap. And when they water the track a little bit here and there, keep the dust down in spots, makes that first lap real tricky.
Wyndham starting to put the heat on the 4-stroke of Doug Henry.
And not only are you slipping and sliding here and there, but you're also trying to stay out of the roost. Good line by Wyndham there.
Wyndham not quite able yet to take the advantage of Doug Henry. Henry with a 17th and 12th in the opening round. Not quite in rider shape yet. Not much seat time and practice for Henry before this season started.
I think that's a blessing right now, though, Art, because what it's going to take is consistency to do well in this series. You're going to get guys winning motos and getting in the first turn crash, or even at times you can see a Japanese rider still down. That's what the flag's been for.
Look at that. We've got a pack of 4 up near the front. Wyndham puts the wheel out, but Henry comes back on that 4-stroke. It's Emig in third.
Hey, look back at LaRocco, second overall at the first race with a 9th and a 2nd. That's going to happen a lot. So to be a little bit, take ride 98% rather than 100%, try not to make any mistakes. That's what's going to get you through this series. That's what Kevin is forced to ride like right now with this injury.
Doug Henry able to hook up after the corner. But right now, Wyndham gets the corner speed, and there comes Henry back again. Oh, what a battle for the lead.
You really got to be aggressive and creative to get around a bike that's a little bit more powerful.
And you can hear that 4-stroke burping its way back into the lead.
It looks like Wyndham is a little bit quicker. This is what happened earlier to Damon Huffman. He gets on the gas, gets sideways. Watch it pitch him high side. No, he didn't expect that. He gets up to run back to his bike and then realizes, wait a minute, maybe I don't feel so good. He took his time getting going after that.
Up with a 10-4 in that opening round at Glen Helen as we go back to the lead. And Doug Henry, boy, he's putting up a terrific battle against Kevin Wyndham.
Wyndham just exploding around that corner on the outside that time to try to keep Doug guessing.
Oh, Henry's having some fun right now as he retakes the lead. Henry, Wyndham, Emig, Ward, and Lamson are top 5. Back to Hangtown's Classic in a moment.
Suzuki has completely restyled the Katana 600 and 750, from their dual halogen headlights to their 4-in-1 stainless steel exhausts.
Same time tomorrow? Yeah.
So now they're just as impressive on the outside as they've always been on the inside.
I got a new car with the red tail lights like blue on the corners and it's hung in tight. It's got a rag top and a contoured hood. She goes up, and she's rocking. Let's go!
The 1999 Mazda Miata. Set it free, and it'll return the favor.
Migraine pain, the blinding light, the nausea, the piercing pain. You may think nothing can help the pain, but the power of prescription Zomig can. For most types of migraine, Zomig is clinically proven to relieve migraine pain after the attack is underway. That's the power of Zomig. Get this free migraine information kit with savings on your first prescription for Zomig. To learn more, talk to your doctor or call 1-800-785-9452 about Zomig. Zomig is not for everyone. If you have certain types of heart disease or uncontrolled blood pressure, you should not take Zomig. Very rarely, some people without recognized heart disease may have serious heart-related problems. So talk to your doctor if you have risk factors for heart disease, such as smoking, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol, or if you are pregnant, nursing, or taking medication. Migraine pain? Get the power of Zomig now. Call for your free information kit and savings on Zomig.
Welcome back. The battle for first has been absolutely wonderful here in round two, the second moto of the 250s. To the outside, Kevin Windham, number 14 on the Team Honda. On the inside, Doug Henry, Team Yamaha on the four-stroke. It has been back and forth. Windham with more corner speed, but Henry comes out of the corner with more power.
Oh, what's making this battle exciting is that you got two guys right back there behind him. Look at that, Emick and Ward. They have their own little battle going on, but the four of these guys are still close enough. The crowd, there's not really any indication of who's going to break free here.
Steve Lamson looking for his best finish of the moto for the season in 5th spot. Henry took a 3rd here last year with a 3-4 behind Albertine and the winner McGrath.
A great opportunity for these guys to steal some points, get into the run in here. Both Emick, oh, actually all four of them, they really need it. Lust, Albertine coming from behind, Lust, or Tortelli rather, mid-pack. Looks like they'll be able to do that.
David, it's interesting to see the riders that are stepping up to the plate right now, even though Tortelli dominated so much in that opening round. Who will come out of this bar-to-bar situation? Kevin Windham, number 14, now takes the lead. Can Henry come back?
I don't think so. I think Henry was doing about the best he could do to try to keep Kevin back there. Now that you see, Kevin's already got about almost a second already. He's going to try to check out. Looks as aggressive as Lust did in that first moto. Look at him. He's just on the power, looking great lines. Now he can take the line he wants to take. I think Doug was taking up all the best ones. And now that he's got that little bit of a lead, he can afford to go wide here and there and not worry about Doug sticking a wheel in on him.
So number 14 out in front, Doug Henry 2nd, and making his presence felt in 3rd is Jeff Emick.
Look at how hard these guys charge. That time Kevin up over the double. That's a tough double jump to clear because there's not much takeoff on the first one. You've got to hit it just with enough speed, use a lot of body, try to lighten the bike underneath you and get it to float over the second one.
Already with a 2-second lead, Kevin Windham now on Doug Henry. Emick to the inside on Henry. Oh, they almost touched tires. Emick taking over 2nd place. And Larry Ward now has his target next on Doug Henry.
And just in front of those guys, you can see the way Kevin went around that corner. He took perfect line coming out, got himself a straight shot, and cleared the double.
The Mazda Chaparral Yamaha of Steve Lamson. And then Jimmy Button of Team Yamaha on another 4-stroke.
A little better shot this time for Jimmy. Remember in the first moto was Tortelli and he getting together, so he didn't get a very good start. This time a little bit farther to the front, but still not the kind of start he would like.
Button with a 14-5 in the first round as he got the whole shot in that second moto last week.
Nice line right there. You can hear working the throttle a little bit. Got out of the corner with a little bit of acceleration and backed off just to let that rear wheel track across the rut and back on the power.
Well, the way Emick is riding, Windham's going to have to keep up his pace. That's a difficult thing to do, is it not, David?
It is. Anytime you got to run this pace for 30 minutes and you got somebody gaining on you a little bit or staying the same, you worry about them a little bit. You try to ride your own race, but you can't help but just glance over your shoulder once in a while and notice he's still there.
And the battle with Lamson is on right now. Here's Mike LaRocca, number 3, Tortelli, number 44, in a battle for 6th place.
He closed on these guys fast, and he's got number 17, Raynard, right there in tow. Both those guys riding a faster pace than these three in front of them.
So now it's Button, LaRocca, Tortelli.
Tortelli already getting by. Takes care of Lamson on the inside. Watch him go to work, and he is just so good at passing people.
Boy, you'd think this style of track, too, just fits what he had to compete with last year and years prior in the GP circuit.
Yeah, a lot faster tracks, maybe not quite as rough. Yeah, back in the 70s, early 80s, it was the opposite. In Europe, the tracks were way rougher. Every time we went over for the Trophy to Nations, I mean, maybe it was just the tracks we ended up on, but it seemed like they were a lot rougher, rockier, more difficult. Look at LaRocca.
LaRocca making the move now on Jimmy Button. Takes over 5th spot. Button still between LaRocca and Tortelli.
Like I said in the first moto, it seems like every time Button and Tortelli get together, there's a little bit of some blocking going on. Guys looking around at each other. See what happens this time.
Tortelli to the outside. Whoa, little fishtail, but he holds on to the control. What finesse through those corners.
Tortelli just blasting through that corner so fast. If Jimmy didn't do anything wrong, it was just Tortelli that went through there with all the speed.
He's never ridden a Honda before this year. Very grateful for his team's support, as he talked with us earlier.
You know, everybody's out there, you know, helping you and pushing you to get a better bike and just feel comfortable. So, I mean, I just feel like it's great to have a team who support you. Like, you know, they're just into the race and they want to give you the best, and they're just pushing hard to give 100% of themselves.
It was a learning year in Supercross for the young Frenchman, but he expects a top 3 performance out of the Nationals. The win last week at Glen Helen, a great way to start.
I didn't know what to expect exactly, and I was like big question for me, and because I never ride with none of these guys. Motocross is like, that's what I know how to ride, and that's where I feel comfortable on the bike. I'm doing outdoor since I'm a kid, and since I'm riding since 6 years old.
Beating Stefan Everts in the last moto for the GP 250 title last year was a biggie on Sebastian's learning curve.
You know, that was a very hard season, and I learned a lot from last year. And I know that's going to help me a lot this year already.
Sebastian and his fellow Frenchman Jean-Michel Bayle are the only riders to win the first moto they entered in this series. But that's where the similarities end.
I have a different style of riding than GMB, that's for sure. But, you know, I'm thinking like each person have their own career and do, you know, their own way.
The only area that has made Sebastian Tortelli human so far this year is his starts. He puts the pressure to improve squarely on his own shoulders.
I have everything in my hands to make it happen.
David Bailey, number 44, Sebastian Tortelli, as he tries to hold on to Mike LaRocca right here and challenge LaRocca. He sure is a warm, interesting individual.
That's good to see, too. You know, there's too much of tattoos and hairstyles and guys wanting to have this Hollywood type image, and with Sebastian, it's just go to the race, do your job, work hard, walk the track, study videos, get the bike working right, and try to win a championship. And that's been the mentality of the European riders ever since I can remember. So now Sebastian's bringing that over here, and he's a good example for the rest of the team, and I hope that Michonne takes a little look at that.
LaRocca doing a good job of holding the very fast Tortelli off here for 5th spot as Wyndham, Emig, Henry, Ward, and LaRocca, the top 5 in Moto 2.
This should be a good fight because LaRocca's just as aggressive as Tortelli, but remember Tortelli was mid-pack, so he's had a great ride up to this point.
Whoa, the disc and fork protector just went off Tortelli's bike. We hope you can join us on the 12th of June. That'll be the airing of the next round from Mount Morris High Point Raceway.
Confidence. It's an important factor when choosing an ophthalmologist.
I've had many years of experience in performing laser vision correction. I know that my patients are happy with their results. I've had laser vision correction performed on myself. I'm thrilled with results, and I can pass this enthusiasm on to my patients and help them understand from a doctor point of view and from a patient point of view what a wonderful procedure this can be.
An heirloom quality clock beautifies any home, and Eastern Standard Time in Percival has a cozy collection to choose from. Floor clocks, wall clocks, mantles, cuckoos, and the unique. Complete servicing and restoration of heirloom quality or family keepsake clocks, even antique watches, is available. When your grandfather clock needs service, we make house calls in Loudoun County. When time is of the essence, visit Eastern Standard Time, 140 West 21st Street, across from Nichols Hardware in Percival.
A message to the President of the United States of America. Mr. President, the U.S. team is favored to win the Women's World Cup. As leader of our nation, we feel you should really be at the finals July 10th at the Rose Bowl. This number is dedicated solely to taking your call to confirm that you will be there. Thank you, and God bless America.
Women's World Cup, starting June 19th on ESPN and ESPN2.
Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Davey Coombs from the Hangtown Classic near Sacramento, California. A good battle on for 5th place, and Mike LaRocco has done a tremendous job of staying out in front of Sebastian Tortelli as Robbie Rayner, Team Suzuki number 17, comes up on the tail end of Sebastian.
All these guys are dangerous when they start finding the groove, especially late in the race. Rayner could just ride relaxed a little bit closer to his potential more often. You always see him out front.
Rayner in position now to look for opportunity against Sebastian Tortelli. Wouldn't that be a story? Tortelli looks back. Rayner to the inside. Rayner in 6th spot right now. Boy, what an unusual sight early in the season this is. Can Tortelli come back now?
You see people pass Tortelli there. Wow, look at Tortelli in that corner.
Oh, a flying W by Rayner. Feet off the peg. Somehow he regained control of that Team Suzuki bike. Oh, and look at that. Tortelli does a little spinning of his own.
These guys are riding at 100% right now, pushing each other. Watch what happens to Rayner. Look at his face. Oh, right there into the crossbar. That's dangerous right there. It wasn't that big a mistake, but it could have really cost him. And then Tortelli trying to get on the gas. Look how far he has the bike leaned over. Slides right out from underneath him. That's almost a crash right there. Kind of lucks out and pulls it back together. Rayner wasn't really able to get back around him because he's right in his line, but these guys are riding at their max right now, pushing each other.
And we've got a battle up front right now. Wyndham's lead has been whittled down by Jeff Emig.
And it looks like Jeff has just found some better lines out there in a few places and just inched up on Kevin. And I've been in Kevin's shoes plenty of times. You're getting caught by somebody like that, and you start getting nervous, worrying about it. You can't help it.
The second time in this race, we have another great battle for the lead. Let's check out this week's Honda riding tip with David Bailey.
This week, we're going to focus on ruts. And when you hear the term body English, this is where you really have to use it. You've got to be relaxed and ride with your toes, usually a little bit more on the foot peg so you don't get your foot hung up in them. This is what it looks like from the rider's point of view. And you can see they're only the width of the tire. So you've got to be precise. If you're a little bit too much to the inside, the front wheel will wash out. If your front wheel drops over it, you could go down. Check out how Talon Bolin leans his body in, but keeps the bike upright so it follows the rut exactly. Got to be smooth with the power. Try not to let your foot dangle down too much so your heel can drag. And of course, everybody's looking for the best rut. Watch what happens to Talon in the same corner. The left rider uses an outside rut that runs together into his. You've got to be prepared. You've got to be good enough and loose and relaxed enough to ride any rut on the racetrack. Somebody might be taking your rut sometimes, and you have to be flexible. For this week's Honda riding tip, David Bailey.
Back to the action now in Moto 2 of the 250s. Kevin Wyndham being pressured by Jeff Emig.
You know, Kevin still looks pretty cool. Down in that corner, he went wide, squared back underneath. He's still using the lines he wants. It's a sign that he's not riding defensive just yet. But
and the battle for third is also on. 3 riders involved. Henry right now in third, but LaRocco knocking on the door.
Well, it took Wyndham a pretty long time to figure out a way around. Let's see if LaRocco does any better. You see right there, that's what makes it tough, is Doug's lines cross over here and there, and you can't really get a run at him.
LaRocco slingshots right by him. Here comes Tortelli. Oh, Tortelli, a gutsy move.
All right, we'll scratch that. It looked like they were having a tough time, and of course, that happened in our last show, too. As soon as I mentioned it, they all went by.
LaRocco now in third. And Robbie Raynard puts the challenge to Doug Henry next.
He's right there with him. He was with that group running the pace, which was a little bit faster than that of Henry, so he should be able to find his way around. If he can't, he's going to lose those other two.
Meanwhile, number 14, Kevin Windham, still holding on to the lead with Jeff Emig, desirous of his first moto win in some time. First moto win of the season anyway. Last year it took him 6 rounds before the first moto victory. Tortelli still hounding Mike LaRocco.
Well, they've moved up a spot around Henry, but still in the same order. I think probably these guys have had a chance to ride together a little bit more during the week, and Rocco's a little bit more keen to what Tortelli's thinking.
The former 250 national champion trying to hold off the 2-time world champion. These two had a good battle last week at Glen Helen.
He was running a good pace, had some different lines from everybody else, and carrying some good corner speed. So when he went by me, I dropped in behind him, and you know, I picked up my pace a little bit, and he brought me up to second. So it was good for me to get a chance to run with him and see how he rides. I've never really rode with him outdoors, so I learned a little bit and picked my speed up, and you know, I feel pretty good today.
Mike LaRocco has been very consistent through the Supercross season and here in the opening rounds of the motocross season. He's showing his experience right now, David Bailey.
And it's so scary coming down that downhill where the speed is so high and you're hitting these little curbs. Can't really tell just looking at it on film, but when you ride down that straightaway, you're hitting the 6-inch ledges, rocks scattered around on top of the soil, slick spots. These guys are pushing it all out.
So the battle for third continues, as well as the battle for the lead. Windham versus Emig. We'll be right back, not too far away from the checkered flag here in Moto 2.
That's Honda. Everybody wants to ride for Honda. That's the house of racing.
If you can't get around on that thing, you better look into another sport. The new F4, I think, is awesome. It's stable, it's fast, and it's going to be ready to rock. Dog eat dog, you know? You go out there, and everyone has one idea, and that's that they're going to win. My dreams were to be with Honda. I'd always ridden Honda, so that's where I wanted to be. I just want to go out there and win every time I go out there. I want to be as fast or the fastest guy.
Jumps ahead of the Honda CBR 600 F4.
I want to have people hate me because I won't stop.
Dan?
Hey, Mark.
You and I go back a long ways, right?
Yeah.
You're my best friend. Well, I have something for you. It's number 62.
No, I can't.
Please take this.
This is number 62.
Number 62.
I'm going to cherish this for life.
Thanks.
No, thank you.
Welcome back to Sacramento, California, the Hangtown Classic. And the battle for the lead continues here in our second moto. Kevin Windham, Jeff Emig going at it, back and forth. Emig looks like he wants to try to make a move. Let's get out to Davey in the mechanics area now with Jeremy Albrecht.
J-Bone Frost picked up the pressure even more. He's all over Windham.
Yeah, he looks like he's riding good. It looks like he got a little bit more comfortable out there. He's pushing hard, and hopefully it's going to be a great race. It looks good already.
I got to tell you, I don't envy you. Jeff Emig must be a tough guy to work with because when he shows up, he's the man, but sometimes he just doesn't show up.
It's the same with all of us. Some days you feel good at work, some days you don't, and hopefully he feels great today.
Well, he certainly is riding well as he's challenging for the lead here in the second moto now. Kevin Windham still riding his own race, but Emig is just moving.
You can see Jeff is trying a lot of different things now, forcing Kevin to have to worry about him a little bit. See, Kevin was jumping that double a little earlier. He couldn't go wide to get the run at it because Jeff's right there to steal it as soon as he leaves the door open.
Look out, here comes Emig. Windham sliding a little bit there. Here to the inside, Emig. And we've got a new leader. Jeff Emig now taking the lead away from Kevin Windham. Can Kevin come right back?
It's possible. Sometimes you just get tired of somebody hounding you. I've done it before. I didn't make a habit of it, but if you got somebody pressuring you, know they're not going to leave you alone and taking you out of sync. Now just drift a little bit wide. See what happens. Try to get them back. Look at the difference right there in style. Kevin looked like he was ready for a corner. Jeff looked like he was ready for a straightaway. So he gets that nice little burst of power right up the inside. Nothing Kevin could do about it.
Fans going wild here in Sacramento as we take a look now at Robbie Raynard, who's starting to make a little push toward Tortelli. Tortelli passed one time in this race.
You know, Robbie's one of those riders, the smooth line right there. He picks it perfect, gets the signal from his mechanic. One of those riders you love to watch ride when he's riding well. He just does everything right.
Oh, Tortelli slipped out.
He fell on his left side, too. He's got that hand probably pretty much healed right now, but it makes me nervous to see him fall on that side. See if we can get another look at what happened here. He comes into the corner, pushes that front wheel. Yeah, he got into the loose stuff. Didn't hold him enough. He fell right on the left side. He keeps the motor running, but that's a sore hand.
Looks like he kind of tucked that hand underneath, too, to protect it now as Robbie Raynard and Mike LaRocco go at it. So that's a great break for LaRocco. LaRocco did a great job of holding Sebastian Tortelli behind him all that time. Our new leader, Jeff Emig, number 11, Team Kawasaki. Oh, and there's Robbie Raynard sliding out.
Track is so slick. You see, they come, this ground from that hay bale there, they come from a hard pad. It's like a street with sand on it, right into that loam. So you've got to be really on your toes to deal, and then into ruts, then into some powder, and into some choppy stuff. So the outdoors is a whole entirely different deal than Supercross, where the traction is so consistent. Caught Raynard by surprise a little bit there under braking.
Rocco not that far away from second place now.
Well, I think Tortelli, he just had a fast pace and it pushed LaRocco. Same thing that happened last week.
Jeff Emig, our leader, with Wyndham in second, being pressured by LaRocco. Raynard is still in fourth with Tortelli behind him.
Never before has there been a cruiser as comfortable as the Suzuki Intruder 1500 LC. A bike so smooth, so impressive, you'll want the end of the ride to be just the beginning.
Call toll-free to get free information by mail about the Craftmatic Model 2 adjustable bed. This wonderful bed adjusts to hundreds of relaxing positions, offers optional warm, soothing heat, and relaxing built-in massage, yet costs up to 56% less than these quality flat beds. Don't pay more to remain flat. Call toll-free and get complete free facts by mail about the adjustable bed that costs up to 56% less.
Call toll-free, 1-800-344-8300.
2 teams, 1 cup. Hockey's ultimate prize. Stanley Cup Finals, Stars, Sabres, Game 3. Next Saturday at 8, only on ESPN.
AMA Motocross is brought to you by Honda Motorcycles and the 1999 Honda Race Team. Honda, ride red. Here's our leader in the second moto, Jeff Emig. Behind him is Kevin Wyndham trying to hold on to second place with Mike LaRocco behind him. Should he do that, David Bailey, that would be his very first national 250 overall victory. Kevin Wyndham.
All he's got to do is hang on to second. It looks like that's about all he can do because Emig has picked up the pace, ridden better and better, smoother and smoother throughout this entire moto right now. He's just in a groove.
Good early season form for Jeff Emig.
Well, you know, I remember we had Kevin up with us in New Orleans, and we were asking him about Jeff Emig. You know, what do you think of him for the outdoors? And he goes, well, I don't really think about him. And then he goes, well, I don't know. On second thought, he's one of those guys who can get on a roll. This is the indication. He's getting on a roll a little sooner than guys expected.
They put together a great string in mid-season last year before the injury took him out of competition.
Jeff seems to be affected a lot more than most by confidence or lack of, and right now he's starting to build some. Could be dangerous.
It could make things very interesting for our outdoor national season. Jeff Emig sees the checkers, celebrates with both hands. Whoa, Team Yamaha's Jimmy Button went down. On the final lap, Button trying to get that 4-stroke back up and then has to restart it. So Jeff Emig wins the moto, but Wyndham wins the overall. Morocco, Rayner, Tortelli, Lush came all the way back from last to 6th place. Davey Coombs making his way over now to our overall winner, Kevin Wyndham, on the victory podium. Davey?
Kevin, I got to tell you, when we showed up here this morning, I didn't think this was going to happen. You had a horrible day at the opener. Come out here and get the overall.
Yeah, it was really good for me today. I got good starts both times. This Honda's working great for me, and you know, I need to polish up on the last 10 minutes of the race. But fortunately today, you know, I might not have been the fastest one either moto, but I had the consistency, which really paid off.
It looked like you were getting stronger as the second moto went. You had a good challenge from Jeff Emig, then Mike LaRocco was coming up on you, and all of a sudden you really bared down that last 10 minutes.
Yeah, LaRocco's an animal, and if anybody can make it, he can. And it was really a confidence booster for me to be able to hold him off for the entire race. And, you know, man, this bike's just working great. I'd like to thank Honda once again, and Dunlop tires, Axo helmets, Scott goggles, Gary Simics, No Fear gear, 1-800-COLLECT, Alpine Star boots, and I think that's about it.
Just a fantastic effort today, Kevin.
Yeah, I felt really good, and man, what a place to do it. I've never had a strong result here at Hangtown. I've always been racing against Lamson. You know, he hauls butt around here, but feels really good today, and man, hopefully I can just carry the momentum.
Kevin referring to his 125 wars with Steve Lamson as Kevin takes the overall. Jeff Emig with that moto win, moving into second with a 5-1. Ezra Lusk also on the podium. The 7-5 for Sebastian Tortelli. He'll still be the points leader, but it tightens things up as we go back down to Davey now, who's with Jeffro.
Man, Jeff, what a great ride. You came up through, you rode solid, got the win. How's it feel?
Message back there to Volan, but if he can hang with him throughout this race, he'll be worried in the remaining, you know, last 3 or 4 laps, especially when they get into lap riders.
There's Ernesto Fonseca, who passed Danny Smith.